Hi, I'm Mike Hamilton. I'm at Lithia Toyota Redding, California, and today I'm going to feature the entry level to the RAV4. Behind me is a RAV4 LE gas all-wheel drive. I'll be right back. Back in 1994, Toyota started building a new vehicle and a whole new class of vehicle, now known as the micro SUV. In 1994, Toyota came out with this dinky little two-door vehicle they called the RAV4, which stands for Recreational Activity Vehicle, and the 4 is for, I guess, all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, as they used to call them. Four-wheel drive in the past. It was going through the late 90s. I think they were in generation, I'm not sure this is generation 5 or generation 6. I'd have to look that up exactly, but especially the last model era, which was that ended in 2018. These things were these bubbly crossover SUVs that weren't really appealing to everybody. And then Toyota went with their new TNGA, Toyota New Global Architecture platform, and came up with this new design. In front of me I have the all-new redesigned since 2019 RAV4, and this one here being the entry level to the vehicle. So this is a one upgrade to it that you don't have, and it has all-wheel drive. You can get this in front-wheel drive. That would be about something around $1,600-$1,800 optional off the price of this one, but this is almost as basic as they could come with. So let's start going over this vehicle. Just like just about everything Toyota has in their line, they love this honeycomb grille. It's been popular. And there's a Toyota logo. Behind that Toyota logo we have a radar system. So that's used for the most advanced Toyota safety sense that's available right now, Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus, which gives you adaptive cruise control, smart stop to 30 miles an hour for both vehicles and pedestrians, lane departure, steer assist, lane trace assistance, auto dimming high beams are all part of this. It has the most upgraded of that in all the Toyota land, and just a couple other vehicles like the Camry and Highlanders have that, and some of the other couple new vehicles. Let's go ahead and take a look at these headlights here. No, there's high beams and low beams. There is no fog light. It's missing on here. And let's go ahead and move to the side here. Being this is an entry level, we are getting a hubcap on a steel rim, and then these aren't the best tires in Firestone Destination, but they're still a good brand tire. Toyota's going to give you a little bit of this body mold, side molding accent plastic against the body paint. This is one of the special paints that Toyota's been doing for, I think since 2018 Camry. This came along. That was the first of the TNGAs, and which is called Ruby Flare Pearl. We do have that body side molding in the bottom, kind of breaks up the paint, so it's just not all the same thing. Color coded mirror caps with we have our turn signal indicators on the outside here. This is not a proximity style key. It's still an ignition key with what I like to call a switchblade opening, so it just flips open, and you get 2 of these fob keys when you buy one brand new with a panic alarm, unlock, of course. And let's go ahead and take a look into the passenger side. This has got basically hard plastics, a little bit of soft text in here. We got some of the nickel polish look in here, and then we're going to go over the seats. This is a cloth black seat. In my region of the country, we only get black cloth seats on LEs. If you're in other regions, they do offer different colors. Again, then we got a little bit of, this is all soft touch up here, so it's spongy. We have pockets here for the passenger for their electronics. And then looking over here, just take a look at that, and then you get the smaller infotainment screen. Let's continue on. The roof rails are on here, but the roof rack crossbars have not been installed. That's about a $350 $15 option, if I recall. They're real easy to install, and you could get those from your parts department to add those on. I think it does look better when they have that. And let's go over the MSRP on this vehicle as it sits is $30,328. This is on it has a 2.5 liter engine making 203 horsepower paired to an 8-speed transmission. And then we got a couple extras. So this does have blind spot monitors. So this is a convenience package on this one. So it does have a couple upgrades. You could not have that. Color keyed heated power outside mirrors, that's an upgrade. Special paint, this is the Ruby Flare Pearl. And then we got a rear cargo cover and all-weather floor mats and mud guards are on this one here. Those are all the accessories that how my new car manager preferenced this vehicle. So we got front and rear mud guards here. And let's continue on to the back here. So coming to the back, it's going to have the badging for your LE and all-wheel drive, your Toyota, your RAV4. Now I was told there is a tow package you could get with these. I have not seen one on, but they could be ordered through the parts department. So that's available. We do have rear defrost with a rear windshield wiper on this. And then we got our shark fin that's going to support our Sirius XM, and our Safety Connect will be available through this here. This is a strut assisted liftgate, so there is no power liftgate on this, with a backup camera that is on here. Get in there, can't hardly see that. There it is. Let's go ahead, and once you get this up about a foot, it's just going to rise on its own. It's very simple. Handles to grab it to pull it back down. So if you're taller, I'll just grab the top like that. And then coming in here, we have the back here with our rear cargo cover, and our floor mats are in here. It has a privacy cover. Those seats will fold down to flat. I will demonstrate one of those sides when I close the hatch. Let's go ahead and do that. Don't think I closed that all the way, so get that closed. We have our feel on the driver's side. Most of Toyotas, you'll find the feel on the driver's side. Supra doesn't have it on the driver's side. A couple other vehicles, I can't remember off the top of my head, don't have it on the driver's side. Good space here. I had this seat back for me. So let's first of all, let me demo the seats going down. So these come down this slightly uphill. There's a little bit, these seats are a little more plush than they used to be. A lot of people will camp out in these things. There's enough space, about 80 inches, when you put the seats all the way forward. You can put an air mattress that's designed to fit these, which is pretty cool. And even with this seat all the way back, I'm 6'2". I still have a good inch or two of knee room in here, so even a large adult could sit behind another large adult. Not much for back passengers here. They get a power port, but no USBs. A little holder there for cell phone or something. And then there's a cup holder, or the bottle holder in the door. A couple cup holders with an armrest here in the middle. 60-40 split seats. And there's your bottle holder there. So as I mentioned, this is an entry level, but it does have the convenience package added on. That's going to give you that blind spot monitors, those color-coded mirror caps on there. Let's go ahead and go on the inside. No power seat on this one here, but we do have our normal standard stuff. Power windows, power mirrors, power locks are on here. This works on a jack system. Toyota says this vehicle, I believe, anything from 4'6" to about 6'8" or so could fit inside one of these vehicles. And this jacks up by lifting this handle up right here and then pushing it down, brings it back down. Then there's a bar in the middle that slides it back and forth. Steering wheel is manual tilting and telescopic, so you could do that and bring it out and get that where you want it. Usually just takes me about 10 seconds to adjust everything to where I need it. You do have a couple buttons on there. That's part of your Toyota Safety Sense. That's your auto dimming high beam. There's a gauge dimmer on here. And let's go ahead and get inside, and we'll start going over the stuff on the inside. First off, I'm going to back the camera out and show you the steering wheel. And the steering wheel's got a variety of different toggles. This is going to control the driver's information center. We have push to talk for a Toyota system, or you could do that for Hey Siri if you got Apple and Android Auto. The other side has our cruise control, our lane departure, and lane trace assistance, and our adaptive cruise control are all on this side right here. We have our windshield wipers and washers on this side and turn signals on that side. Let's go ahead and get her started. Get the key out of my pocket here. And again, we got that switchblade key, so it just flips open. And so one of the things to, if you're looking for a sunroof on one of these vehicles, you're going to have to go to an XLE or any trim level above that. So every other model except for the LEs have a sunroof available to them right now. It's not an option on the higher trim packages. They come as a standard. Toyota started to change that with other models. They did that with the 4Runner, the Tacoma. I'm trying to think again. I think the Highlander may have been one too that used to have automatically have a sunroof, and now it's an optional thing. So they're starting to do away with an item that people don't want to pay for because it's expensive, and also two head height clearances are an issue in some of those vehicles on top of it. So this is, again, the driver's information center. Right now I have it on the eco screen, so we have digital miles per hour available on this. Then we have our economy. It's got 2 miles on it, so we have no economy on this thing yet. Distance to empty indicator, 104 miles. It's just got a little bit of gas, slightly over a quarter tank. And then an eco meter to see if you're staying in the green, to give you your best fuel economy. Again, and then we'll go over to the next screen. This is our lane departure alert, steer assist, and lane trace and adaptive cruise control. So setting that up is like pushing this button here and then pushing the other button. So those 3 bars are for 3 seconds of pacing behind a slower vehicle, 2.5 seconds, and 2 seconds. And if I have a video called Lane Trace Assistance Explained, so you can see how that works. You can see that and find that in my video. So I have a whole video going and doing that actually. Let's go ahead and move to the next screen. This is our trip information. So yeah, and then all-wheel drive. It will tell you how each wheel's getting its traction and power, and trip again. And then we have all our information for our Toyota safety sensing here, lane departure alert, pre-collision systems that sees vehicles and will slow down by 30 miles an hour if it feels an impending collision. Same with pedestrians, up to speeds of 50 miles an hour. Does the same blind spot monitoring systems on this here. Rear cross traffic alerts, so if you're backing out of a parking space and somebody comes up from behind you, it will beep and audibly and flash in the backup camera there's something there. And this one here reads the stop signs and speed signs as you go by and displays it on this center screen there. Vehicle settings is the next one. No messages. So if there's an issue with this car, like there's a problem like a charging this system or something else, or you left the door open, it's going to give you that information, and that'll become your only screen if that's happening. And then we should back over to the eco screen again, and then Toyota backs that up with some digital gauges. We have our field gauge and analog gauges, not digital, analog gauges, and for your fill, your speedometer, and your tachometer, and your temperature gauge are analog. So let's move over to the infotainment screen. This is the smaller, I believe that's a 7-inch screen on this one here. There's a bigger 9-inch screen available in more high definition on the higher levels of the vehicle. This does support Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It also has XM radio on a trial. We also get you can use maps through your connective services through your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's also one through Toyota called Scout that you could use. You got to plug your phone into the primary port for that, and then it'll be able to do moving maps, which is pretty cool. Coming on down here, so we got air vents along here. This is where our emergency flashers are here. Then again, this whole dashboard up here is a soft touch. It's not hard plastics with some stitching to tie things in. Again, you have one USB there as your primary. They have a thing called a dongle, so you can make your Apple CarPlay wireless. I do like these rugged buttons that they have for the air here. So a little bit of give it a little bit of a more of an off-road feel to it. Simple buttons. So we got our fan speeds, defrost, front, rear defrost. We have our different flows here. Then we have our temperature range is going to be here. Inside, outside air, AC and max AC. This A off button is an interesting button. So a federal law says new vehicles have to be able to shut off while they're idling at stoplights, and after so long, if you're idling, the vehicle shut down. People don't like that, so manufacturers, including Toyota, have put in this button, so you have to do it each time you start your vehicle, but it will override that auto shut off system. Toyota's is pretty seamless. Some cars are really rough when they start, and so that's a nice thing to have. Traction control off. That's kind of like a snow mode. You always want to keep your traction control on. You have another power port right here so you get some extra charging. Then down here, this is what I like. Standard is an auto e-brake, so it just kind of set when you put it in park. If I put it in reverse, it's going to turn it off. Turns on my backup camera. Same with drive. And then they have this other button that says hold. That's a brake hold button. So when that's activated and you come to complete stop, you could take your foot off the brake. The car will not move until you push the gas pedal again. Pretty neat thing. And then we have drive modes for this vehicle. We have eco for getting the best fuel economy. Normal is about how you normally would drive this about 90% of the time. In sport, it changes the shift points and makes it shift at higher RPMs, makes it zippier. Also good for windy roads and mountain roads. It's going to tighten up that steering and stiffen up the suspension a little bit. And then we have terrain modes just below that. Being this is all-wheel drive, we have a snow mode, so these things do extremely well in snow, better than a 4Runner in snow. You could watch videos of these running a course against a 4Runner, and they beat the 4Runner in speeding up and slowing down, doing the course that they designed. They're quicker, and to get through that kind of stuff, they just do quite well with their dynamic torque vectoring. It's just a smart all-wheel drive that brakes the wheels at different times and switches power to different wheels. We also have a mud and sand and a rock and dirt mode. So this could do some light off-roading. So if you need to get down a dirt road to the campsite or to the lake, this is not built for rugged off-roading, but a little bit of the off-roading. And again, they give this little bit more of this ruggedness for your cell phone and storage here and whatever this is for, just to change, I guess, but to give it, and the cup holders have the same thing. So you got that just bit of ruggedness to this thing here. So if that's something I like, give it a little bit better feel of giving you that kind of off-road kind of feel to it. Let's go ahead and work our way up. We have just a regular manual mirror that you have to adjust. It's auto dimming. You have to flip that lever. And then up top we have our sunglass holder. We have dome lights and reading lights up here, incandescent. We have our vanity mirror here with our sun visors, and these do not slide, so we do not have anything to fill that gap in. That's kind of sucks, but there it is here. So you're going to lose a few things. Going to the higher levels, you get some nicer features. Up on top here we have one more button. This is known as the SOS button. That button is for emergency services. So if you're ever in an accident where airbags deploy, the call center will be alerted. They'll be trying to get a hold of you. If you're non-responsive, they're going to have your GPS coordinates, how fast you're going at the time of accident. It also does other things. You're in an emergency, you could push that button. Roadside assistance is good for that for the first year. You can use that button, and also stolen vehicle locator for the first year. The other things are trial, except for the emergency services you'll never have to pay for. So it's been quite a few years now, and we're probably looking at 5 years. This vehicle has been Toyota's #1 sold vehicle in North America. I'm not sure if it includes Canada. It probably does. But I think something in the last year, if I recall reading, it was like 440,000 units, and this beats out the Camry by about 30,000 units. And as customers, these things get more fuel economy now, especially the hybrid at over 40 miles a gallon. Then you got the Prime that has a 42-mile range on its electric before it even switches into a gas hybrid mode. A lot of customers are looking at these SUVs because they're a little better on space and work better for the family, especially when all-wheel drives, being able to get a little bit off-road, get in the snow, do these things. And then you could get, price ranges again from like the basic before any discounts in normal times. You may be in these for like 28,000 on the lowest end, and then they could get over 50,000 on the top end when you got the XSE Prime with all the bells and whistles. So quite a range in pricing on this thing here. So over $20,000 in differences from the lowest to the top. But Toyota's trying to make a RAV4 that could fit everybody's budget. So I mean, pretty much a car today is going to be 20 something. It's hard to find a car that doesn't have an MSRP under 20K anymore. I think even the Corolla's lowest Corolla is 21,000. They got rid of the Yaris as of last year. So really right now entry-level vehicles are in the 20s, and so you could see yourself in one of these. And in good times when we had money off on these things and rebates, this was probably, trying to recall, a front-wheel drive, most basic version of this, a $25,000 vehicle. Now it's probably a little bit more right now because of the microprocessor shortage and things like that. But again, still getting into an affordable vehicle. They actually lease pretty good, and I got a customer in one of these yesterday and got a payment that was about $450 a month. That's pretty reasonable for all the car you're getting. So anyways, again, thank you for watching my video. I'll see you next time.